Antoine Jean-Baptiste Marie Roger de Saint-Exupéry was born on the 29th of June 1900, in Lyon, France. He was the third child in the aristocratic family, that called him the Sun King, for his blonde hair. He lost his father when Antoine was only 4 years old, so his mother took care of his upbringing. In 1912 Saint-Exupéry flew for the first time in an airplane. This experience impressed the young boy so much, that he decided to dedicate his life to the sky. Even in college he was called lunatic for the habit to gaze at starry night. In 1921 Saint-Exupéry was drafted into the army and enlisted in the 2nd Regiment of the Light Cavalry near Strasbourg. At first, he was assigned to the work team at the repair shops, but soon he managed to pass the exam for a civilian pilot. In the future, he also received a military pilot's license. In January 1923, Saint-Exupéry got into a plane crash and suffered a traumatic brain injury, after which he was discharged from the army. He moved to Paris, where he started writing. At first, he had to take any kind of work, because he wasn't successful. He was a salesman in a bookstore, and an automobile salon. In 1926, he was lucky to become a pilot for Aéropostale Company, which was engaged in delivering mail to the north of Africa. On the 19th of October 1926, he was promoted to the airline stopover manager in the Sahara Desert, where he tamed a fennec fox, which most likely became the prototype of the fox from The Little Prince. In the desert he wrote his first novel, called Southern Mail. In March 1929, Exupéry returned to France and entered the higher aviation courses of the Navy. Soon after he was transferred to Latin America, as the director of the Aeropostal Argentina airline. In 1930, for his contribution to the development of civil aviation, Exupéry was made a Knight of the Legion of Honor. In the same year, he wrote his second novel, Night Flight, for which he was awarded the Prix Femina. In 1931, Exupéry returned to France, and worked for various airlines, mainly engaged in mail transport. In 1932, after getting a job as a test pilot, Exupéry got into a plane crash while testing a new seaplane, which overturned, and he barely managed to get out of the cockpit of the sinking plane. As a correspondent for the Paris Soir newspaper in April 1935, Saint-Exupéry visited the USSR, and described this visit in 5 essays. He was the first Western writers, who attempted to understand Stalinism in these essays. He also met the writer Mikhail Bulgakov there. Soon, he became the owner of his own plane Simoun and on the 29th of December 1935, decided to break the speed record in a Paris to Saigon air race. But in the Libyan desert the plane crashed, and only thanks to the Bedouins, who accidentally discovered him, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry dying of thirst was miraculously rescued. He went to New York in January 1938, where he started working on the book Wind, Sand and Stars. Same year, in February, he suffered another serious accident in Guatemala, after which he was restoring health for a long time, first in New York and then in France. On the 4th of September 1939, the day after the announcement by France of war with Germany, Exupéry was on a military airfield Toulouse-Montauban. Until the defeat of France in 1940, he flew combat missions, performing aerial reconnaissance tasks, for which he was awarded the Croix de Guerre. In 1941, after the defeat of France, Exupéry moved first to the unoccupied part of the country, and then went to New York. The following year, he wrote his most famous novel, The Little Prince. In 1943, he joined the Free French Air Force under the command of General Charles de Gaulle, and with great difficulty achieved his enlistment in a combat unit. On the 31st of July 1944, he departed Borgo, Corsica, on a reconnaissance flight, and was shot down by a German fighter. Even though Antoine de Saint-Exupéry dedicated his life to the sky, he will remain in our memory as a writer, philosopher, and dreamer, able to get us right in the fields by his works. His novels are translated on more than 100 languages, and are annually republished in millions of copies. Performances, films, and cartoons are based on his works. That was a story of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. You are on the Short History channel. Subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss our new short stories. Click the bell, like, leave comments, stay with us.